All right, guys. So this is the last section of this chapter, narrative. So what we want to do is to add this another row at the bottom, right? So there's tell me a story. There's an action button, right? And then it displays a narrative, right? Narrative about the injury, right? Or the accident, right? Um, so let's close this. And we have this all the objects um, you know um, so these are the objects that we created in this data explorer file, right? so let's so let's add some more exploration here. What am I? It's just 4.3. Explore data. Oh, I see. Explore data. Okay, I want to add 4.7 narrative, right? So it shows up here. Oh, is it double R? Yes. Okay. So let's look at selected, right? So the narrative is this column. Narrative, all lowercase. Um, this will be really simple, right? We just wanna we just wanna sample some of the narratives here. We should just let's do one narrative because that seems to be what we're seeing here, just one narrative. But each time you click the button, action button, it should generate, or it should select, uh, randomly select a new narrative, right? Um, okay, so the code for that will be selected, and then you might think you're gonna you're gonna select narrative using the select function, but yeah, let's see what happens. Then it looks like this, right? Um, so what we want here is instead of selecting an entire column, let's use pool. And then what the difference is, right? So when we use pool, when we use select, all right. Oh, that's a whole lot. So just to make my point here, let's say uh, we want to sample one, right? So we have this um, narrative, just one, right? Just one injury, randomly selected using the sample function. Um, what if we do this, right? I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't work. So for this, we need to use the what I want to show you here is pull function. It shows the entire text, entire string. Okay, so uh, maybe instead of sample, we use a slice function. I think that is a better way to contrast between select and pull in this case. So there's that, and then pull. See what? Okay, so slice doesn't work either because uh, that is for um, that is for data table or table. So, all right, to make a contrast, let's do it this way. All right, so there's using result using select function. There's using pull function. The difference is when you use select, it doesn't display the entire string, right? Pull, however, it shows the entire string, right? So that is the reason why we want to use pool. And then to make this selection of injury or the row random, we want to use sample. Okay, so we want to use uh, oh, we can write it here, right? We want to pull first, and then from there we're gonna sample one element from the vector because pull the result of this will be a vector of strings. Okay, so again, this will be just one, right? And each time it selects, a different injury or narrative, right? So that is the code that we're going to use. All right, so let's do this in the app. So the first thing we need to do, uh, we need to revise the UI. Oh, by the way, we need to create a new file. So 4.5, hold on. Oh, you know what? So this, uh, the revision to the plot, that should have been section 4.6, but I just added to the 4.5 file. But that's all right. That's all right. So here, I'm going to create 4.7, section 4.7. And then we're going to add, in the UI side, we're going to add one more row. So fluid row, and then column. So it's a small action button. So maybe just two columns here. And then it's action button, input action button, right? And then input ID and label. So what will be the input ID for that? Uh, so code could be story, and the label tell me a story. Okay. So the code, no, not code. I'm sorry. Input ID. Let's call it story. I think that's what the author did. And for label, tell me a story. All right. Um, and then for column, so say column 10 because there are 12 columns. Let's use the entire screen. We need what text output, right? And output ID. Um, what do we want? Uh, so let's say output ID story and this input, let's say what act. All right, yeah. Well, let's use the same ID that the author used. Okay. Um, where is it? Oh, it is story. Story and so I put output ID is narrative, input ID is story. Okay. I mean, they both seem to be the same, but just to be consistent. Right. Narrative. Right. So let's test this. Right. And then down here we have action button. Tell me a story. It doesn't display any narrative yet because we um, we need to add code for the on the server side. So here narrative. Right. So here we are going to create a reactive value. So once that action button tell me a story, that button is clicked, then generate this, right? This reactive value, and that is react event reactive function, right? And so uh, what do we want to name this? You know, um, oh, narrative sample. Okay, narrative sample. That's what we want to name it. Okay, narrative sample and event reactive and event expression and value expression. So event expression. So what's the event? That button, right? So input. and story, right? And then curly bracket, right? So when the button is clicked, then do this, and do this part is this there, and selected is of the active value, right? And then output. So output ID is narrative, right? And what is the pairing function for text output? Render text, render text, right? And uh, we want to print narrative sample, and that is reactive value, right? So this code makes sense to me, and so let's test it. All right, tell me a story. There you go. So this should be narrative of an injury associated with whatever the product that was selected here. Okay, there you go. It works. Great job, guys. And this is the last section in the textbook. So in the next video, I'll give you instructions about code along and apply assignment. All right, take care.